early in 2012, and the code official apparently had a big fight with the homeowner saying, this is a substantial improvement. You've got to elevate the structure, you've got to put in vent openings. The only thing I see that I don't quite like is it looks like there's an air conditioning unit that's a little lower than it should be. But what they told us is that the owner begrudgingly accepted and rebuilt this house to code. The neighborhood for Sandy took on about 4 feet of water. The water in this house got up to the top step, but didn't do very much damage to the structure itself. And the building inspector told us that the homeowner thanked him for making him build this way, and now feels guilty because his house didn't get much damage and all his neighbors were devastated. So, kind of in conclusion of this part of it, FEMA is required by Congress, and then I'm going to talk about the community rating system for about 10 minutes and then I'll be finished. FEMA is required by Congress to establish actuarial rates. So right now the rating only looks at the lowest floor and the base flood elevation. That's how they figure it out. So we're promoting our National Flood Group. I've been pushing this idea. FEMA needs to be more creative about setting actuarial rates. Look not just at the depth of flooding, but look at the frequency of flooding. Look at partial mitigation efforts, elevating utilities, wet flood-proofing basements, allowing basements to fill with water. We have issues in urban areas with large multifamily buildings. Currently, residential buildings cannot be flood-proof, they must be elevated. But it seems that if you have a large multifamily building with professional management, non-residential structures can be legally flood-proofed. Why not apply that to large residential structures? Consider tying long-term flood insurance financing to funding of mitigation. In other words, you use the decreases in flood insurance to fund some of these mitigation efforts. And some people are talking about community-based insurance, where the individual doesn't buy insurance, the local community does, and that insurance rate is based on the overall risk within the community. It's kind of controversial, but it's something that some people are talking about. This gets back to the cost of elevation. So a 2-story house, 1,000 square feet, figure you elevated an extra foot, it's about a little more than $1,000 a foot, and this is your break on insurance for doing that. So this is $250,000 in coverage. If you go up a foot above base flood elevation, it takes you less than 2 years to pay off that extra foot. If you go up 2 feet, and this is the state code, 2.8 years, 3 feet, 4 years, go up 4 feet. The insurance rates don't drop as much, but it'll take you about 5 years to pay that off based on the savings of insurance. Now I want to talk about the community rating system. What the community rating system is, it's a program that FEMA has that provides flood insurance discounts to all flood insurance policyholders within a municipality that takes steps that go above and beyond minimum standards. It's not going to get your actuarial rate back to, it's not going to get your $5,000 rate to $1,000, but it will provide discounts. For most communities that get into the program, it's a 5 to 10% discount. We have a couple of communities in New York that are down to a 15% discount. It's class 7. Nationwide, you can get as much as a 45% discount, but there's only a couple of communities in the country that have gone that far. But some of the things that